Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Zhaffira Aliyah Afifa. I'm from 5BD class. And today, I would like to do a presentation about interpretation of data. So, let me start my presentation today. The first topic is about definition of data interpretation. Data interpretation is an activity that combines the results of the analysis with certain statements, criteria, or standards to find the meaning of the data collected to answer problems in the research that is being corrected. Interpreting data, the steps in which a researcher must draw meaning and understanding from the classified data. And this step includes reflection and abstract meaning of the important data patterns and categories that have been done in the previous steps. This final step has led to the interpretation of the data. And there are also the purpose of data interpretation according to Skaldsman and Strauss in 1973. It has three objectives, which are: first is a mere description. A mere description is the analyst accepts and uses existing organizational design and theory in a discipline. The results of the data analysis are interpreting the data by finding the categories in the data related to those usually used in a conversation. Second, analytical description. Analytical description, which is a design that is developed from the categories found and the relationships suggested or that arise from the data. And third, substantive theory. Substantive theory, namely the basic theory of the analysis, must reveal the design that has been carried out in the analysis, then transformed in the language of the discipline, or sociology and so on, which eventually builds its own identity even though it is carried out in relation to the object being analyzed or traditional process. And there are also data interpretation techniques according to LRG. First is connect the results of the analysis with the theories in the previous chapter. Second, connect or review the theory that is relevant to the problem at hand. Third, extend the results of the analysis by asking questions regarding the relationship, the differences between the results of the analysis, the causes, and the implications of the results of the previous analysis. Fourth, relate findings to personal experience. Fifth, give a critical view of the results of the analysis carried out. And data interpretation can be carried out in two ways. First, interpretation is limited because researchers only interpret the data and relationships that exist in their research. This is an interpretation in the narrow sense. And second, researchers try to find a broader understanding of the results they get from the analysis. This is done by researchers by comparing the results of the analysis with the conclusions of other researchers and by reconnecting the interpretation with the theory. So, I think that's all from my presentation. Before I end my presentation, I would like to conclude some conclusion. There are: interpretation data is an activity that combines the result of the analysis with certain statements or criteria or standards to find the meaning of the data collected to answer the problems. And the purpose of data interpretation according to Skaldsman and Strauss, there are three objectives. First is a mere description. Second is analytical description. Third is substantive theory. And there are also data interpretation techniques. First is connect the results. Second is connect or review the theory. Third is extend the results. fourth is relate findings to personal experience, and the last techniques is give a critical view of the results. And also, data interpretation can be carried out in two ways. First is interpretation is limited, and second is researchers find a broader understanding of the results. So, I think that's all for my presentation. I hope it is useful for the viewers or listeners. So, I end it with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.